If you're thinking about starting a small farm from your homestead, a business where you sell product to, in this video we're going to talk to you about the different farm enterprises that have worked for us, the amount of money that we made from each of them, and what ideas might be good for you and your farm. So stay tuned, let's get into it. We have been on our homestead going on 6 years now. About 5 of those years has been spent running a small farm business. We started our small farm business for a couple different reasons. For one, we liked raising the animals for ourselves, and we figured if we raised a few more, we could sell that and earn some income. We also knew that if we hit a certain point in income, we could actually get tax cuts and take that money that we're no longer paying in taxes and apply that back into the infrastructure here on the farm. So that was an added motivation for us to become a farm business. So what enterprises have we done? Since we started our farm business, we have sold eggs, we've sold vegetables, we've gotten into the meat market, we've sold different kinds of meats, and we've also made some money doing some on-farm classes. So let's talk about each of these enterprises. First off, eggs and veggies. We're not very good in the garden, so the veggies that we've sold over the years is not even worth considering. Eggs, on the other hand, we get plenty of with all our chickens and ducks. So are eggs a good way to make money? Well, not really. If you're selling chicken eggs, there's probably a lot of other people in your area who are selling them too, probably for $2 to $4 a dozen. At the supermarket, they're even cheaper. The money that it takes to produce chickens, to get the eggs, the time investment, and all that said and done, you make very little profit from eggs. If you don't believe me, check out this podcast episode that we did last year. We broke down the entire business of selling eggs to try to figure out whether or not it was profitable. And we interviewed John from Farm Marketing Solutions and got his numbers because he did a lot more egg business. You won't believe when you watch that episode how tight the margins are. So check out that episode, you can find it here. So eggs don't make you much money. What's the point of selling eggs in the first place? Well, if you have a lot of extra eggs, it's better than throwing them out. Sure, put up a roadside stand, maybe get some income from that. It can work as a loss leader. It might be a good way to get some new faces on your farm. Then you can tell them that you do meat or classes or whatever else you're doing. So if you can use it as a loss leader, then maybe it's worth it. But to be honest, small farms have a hard enough time making money, so don't plan a loss leader into your business model. If you have the extra eggs and you want something to do with it, well then maybe that's a good way to leverage having farm fresh eggs. Let's talk about meat. I find meat to be one of the best ways to earn a little bit of money off your homestead, feed your family, and not have a full-time career in farming. Every year we raise meat chickens and meat pigs. The time investment is not huge. The money investment can be considerable, but we always take deposits on our meat orders, so that helps defray that cost. And the income at the end is pretty nice. Meat chickens versus pigs, those are the two that we've done over the years. Meat chickens we found were not really worth our time, especially when we did the butchering ourselves. In some states you can legally butcher chickens for people, others you can't, so it might not even be a consideration. However, butchering is a lot of work, and we found that we could sell a pastured chicken for about 20 bucks, and 10 of that was cost, and the butcher day was a really long, hard day, and I had to give a lot of free meat away to my help, and I just didn't make a lot of money from the chicken. This last year, we actually took our chickens to a butcher and tacked that price onto the chickens, and that made it a little bit more worth it. But now I have to sell chickens for about 25 bucks a bird, and that's still kind of hard to convince people that it's worth spending that kind of money on. So if you have the market for pastured poultry or the skills to bring it to market and get people interested, then maybe that one's worth doing for you. For us, we don't invest too much energy in trying to make money off of pastured poultry. We do make a nice income off of our pigs. And if you're interested to see how much money exactly we make from our pig operation and how much money you could make from doing pastured pigs, well, make sure to subscribe because tomorrow's video is going to get into those details. If I were to give you the advice of what meat operation you should get to on your small homestead, I think pigs is a great one. You can buy feeders when they're young, through the spring, summer, and fall raise them, bring them to the butcher in the fall, and then all winter long you don't have to care for any animals. You can make a nice income from them. People love the product. It's way better than store-bought pork. and it's always been a good way for us to earn income on our farm. In fact, we earn enough income from the pigs that we make every year over $2,000 in gross income, which then makes us eligible for those tax cuts that the state of Connecticut allows us. So earning the pig money then saves us money in taxes. The third enterprise that we've used over the last few years to earn an income from our homestead is doing on-farm classes.
The class we did today was raising your own meat birds. It takes you step by step through the process of owning meat chickens, from the time you order them on the internet to when they arrive at your door as baby chicks, to finishing the birds off and then processing your own. First hour we sit and chat about how to raise chickens. We talk about all what's involved, and they get to ask questions. It's real interactive. And once they can delay it no more, then we get to the hands-on part, which is the processing chickens. To pick up their own bird out of the chicken tractor, they bring it to the killing cone. We show them the most humane way we can how to kill the bird, and then step by step through the process of turning that chicken into a beautiful, clean, delicious chicken that you'd be cooking up and serving for your family.
Now, classes are a great way to make a lot of profit. You don't spend a whole lot of money to do the classes. Pretty much what you're selling is your experience and knowledge. So the costs are low, the profit can be very high. However, there are still some challenges with classes. You have to market these classes. You have to make sure that you fill the class. If you have only 2 people show up, sometimes it's not really worth your time to do the class. Of the 3 enterprises, our favorite one is meat. We do it every year with our pork. It's a nice side income for us, and it gets us the tax benefits. Depending on what scale you're trying to grow your farm business to, will depend on which you rely on the most. For us, we just want to cover the costs of raising the animals and get enough money in that we are eligible for tax cuts. So our goal every year is to gross over $2,000. If we can do that, we're happy. We are not trying to make a living from our farm business. You can make a living farming. People do it. But it is a challenge. In our recent podcast episode, we heard the figure that 91% of farmers have some sort of off-farm income coming in, whether it's from their mate, whether they have a part-time job somewhere else. You can do it, but it's hard. I don't suggest to you that you start a farm business with the idea of going full-time at that and quitting your job. I find that I enjoy homesteading and farming way more when it's a hobby level enterprise that I enjoy doing and that I make a little income from. I work for myself, I have my own business, so I have the freedom to enjoy my life on the homestead, but I don't have to be slaving away all day long in the garden and with the animals in the hot sun if I don't feel like it, because we keep it at a manageable level. So what should you do? Well, if you're a homesteader who wants to have more time on your homestead, maybe earn a little bit of money, find a couple enterprises, maybe even just one in the beginning, to grow slowly over time and earn a little bit of side money from. And then you'll know over time whether or not you want to grow it to be a full-time job, or if you think, you know what, it's too much work to grow any further, but I enjoy the stage I'm at now, I'll just keep doing what I'm doing. That's what we've done here. Of our total homestead income, all the money we make, the farm business earns very little compared to everything else that we do. So if you want to know how we really pay for our lifestyle, the business that really helps us homestead and have this freedom, we're going to talk about that in a later video in this Homestead Finance series. So make sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss that video. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments below. I know I did not talk about near as many enterprises as are out there. I just talked today about the enterprises that we were familiar with ourselves. But if you have any other questions about other enterprises, you know, sheep, goats, wool, fibers, whatever it is, leave them in the comments below, and that will help me know what you want to learn about, and I'll find somebody out there who knows more than me about those subjects. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe. Sorry, one more time.
Action.
One more time.
Action.